Hello, it's Ashley here from Paper and Twine, and welcome to day 31 of 31 days of Christmas crafting. We got to the end. How fantastic is that? And I have got a stonking project for you today. This is going to be a bit of a beast. I will try and keep this as short as I possibly can, and I followed a tutorial from a Stampin' Up demonstrator called Linda Parker to make what we're going to make today, and I will leave a link to her video down below. She's much better at this than me. We are going to make a luggage style gift box that you could put anything in, but it is designed for miniature bottles such as this, and we're going to make a masculine inspired project together, and then I've got a female version that I've already pre-made to show you at the end that I've slightly adapted for something else. So essentially we're going to make a box with a sleeve that looks like a little luggage case. So for the box base you will need a piece of card that is 10 1/8 by 8 3/4. On the long side you're going to score at 1 3/8, 2 3/4, 7 3/8 and 8 3/4. On the short side you're going to score at 1 3/8, 2 3/4, 6 and 7 3/8. We're going to work on this piece first, and I'm having that issue with the light again, so I'm going to just fold and burnish all of my score lines. Yes, so day 31. I can't believe that we have actually done it. Well, we haven't yet because we haven't finished making this, and I haven't uploaded it, so haven't quite achieved my goal yet. What a stupid challenge. And thank you to those of you who have been supportive and left lovely comments and have joined in and told me about what you are going to make. My scoring on this is abominable. I'm taking no care whatsoever. Look, I've cracked my card a bit, but it doesn't matter too much because those bits are going to be covered up anyway by the sleeve. Take a little bit more care here. And what we're going to do for this box base is we're going to make a reinforced box. So you want your box with the long side in front of you, and you are going to cut up these two squares here carefully and cut away. You're then going to cut this square out here like so. And you're going to just cut up that score line, and you're going to wedge like so. And you're going to repeat that on all four corners. So you will end up with something like this. If I lay that out, you can see. And what's going to happen is these side tabs are going to fold in, and this is going to fold down. You'll glue those, and this is going to fold down to form the side of the box, and we're just going to glue that and make sure that that is nice and secure, and do that on this side as well. So I'm going to put some glue on my tabs. What's the betting that my glue won't come out? Oh, it has. Okay, so we bring the tab in and fix that like so, and this tab in and fix that corner like so, making sure that you have got a really nice corner, and just wait until your glue is set. go in with your bone folder if you want to. And then we're going to put glue. You could use tape, but we're going to put glue on this tab here and fold that in. If you fold these side ones out of the way, it just makes it a little bit easier. We're going to fold those down in a minute. So that goes like that. I'm just going to give that a really good burnish. And I probably could do a little bit more glue on there. And I'm going to just do exactly the same process on the other side of my box. And then just to finish, we're going to glue these two tabs and fold them in. Let's hope they fit. And it just gives the box a really nice finish on the edge and makes it sturdy too. So this is our box base, and our box lid we are going to construct in exactly the same way, and I will tell you the dimensions of that, just bear with a minute. So for our box cover or lid, you need a piece that is 9 5/8 by 8 3/8, and on the long side you're going to score at 1 1/4, 2 1/2, 7 1/8 and 8 3/8. On the short side you're going to score again at 1 1/4, 2 1/2, 5 7/8 and 7 1/8. We're going to fold and burnish all the score lines and assemble the box in exactly the same way. So I'll put you on fast. So there is our box complete. It is really, really snug, really snug. Yes, but you want it to be a tight fit because you don't want your little bottle to be rattling around and going anywhere. And we're going to make a little insert piece which is going to go in here and act as a little nest for our box. And what you need is a piece of card that is 8 5/8 times 4 1/2, and on the long side only you're going to score at 1 3/8, 2 1/4, 3 5/8, 5, 6 3/8 and finally 7 1/4. And you want to fold and burnish those score lines and fold that way, back upon itself, up like that and down like that, so you're making that shape. Can you see? You're making that shape. And what we're going to do is we're going to apply some glue to the bottom of this piece. I'm using Collall, so I've got a bit of wiggle room. And you can tell which is the base of your box because it is slightly deeper than the lid. Okie dokie. And we're going to just fold it up like so and pop it in like that and wiggle it around and just let it find its Dewberry firkin. And there our little monkey shoulder can fit inside, and isn't that cute? So we'll pop the lid on, and what we need to do now is make a wrap for the suitcase. Now Linda Parker, whose tutorial I followed, as I said, she used a bottle of Jack Daniels, and I think her box was made specifically for that, and I couldn't find that. So my bottle of monkey shoulder is a bit rounder and a bit deeper, so I'm not pressing my lid all the way to the bottom of my base. But as I say, what we want to do now is decorate, and I want this to be masculine, so I am using the Reindeer Christmas from Thoughtful Studio. I think they're called, no, oh dear me, from Relatively Thoughtful. Yes, it's Relative History and Thoughtful Studio are merging and they're becoming Relatively Thoughtful. Yes, and they're relaunching on the 1st of November, I believe. But yes, this is the paper I've shown you before, and oh sorry, and we are using this green plaid because I think it's kind of luggage like, and it's also festive, and I think it's also masculine. So what I've done, I have cut a piece that is 4.5 by 11, and it gives me just a little bit of an edge around here. And what I'm going to do, this is going to be the bottom of our suitcase, so I want my join to be there, and what I'm going to do is wrap and pinch as I go my sleeve around my box. Now I have cut this just a tad too long. I thought 10.5 might be too short, so I'm just going to cut this down to 10.75. In fact, I'm going to cut it that way because I want a little slither off there. And that should give me quite a nice, let's just check we've got that the right way. Yes. Okay, so we're going to do that process again and just wrap and pinch, and there will be our join at the bottom of our suitcase. And what I'm going to do now is burnish these lines, fold and burnish to make a nice crisp cover. I'm just going to check that those two fit nicely. Perfect. Just give that another little pinch. Yes, that is going to be just lovely. So I'm going to just burnish these lines. And the last one, and I'm going to put a bead of glue on here like so, and fit this around my box again like so. Just bringing that in to meet. and I've put the bead of glue on the wrong part. I need it on this part. I'm not firing on all cylinders today, guys. I think that this 31 days has finished me off once and for all. There we go. Let's just make that nice and neat, or as neat as we can on the bottom. Now, what we need for our little suitcase, our little luggage case, is a handle. And for the handle, you need a piece that is 5 3/4 by 1.5. On the short side, you're going to score at 3/4. On the long side, you're going to score at 3/4, 1.5, then rotate and score again at 3/4 and 1.5. So we are just going to fold that and burnish. And we're going to glue that down. Plenty of glue. You could use tape. I'm going to use glue just for quickness' sake. Plenty of glue. Blue is meowing at the door because it is feeding time. And just burnish that down to stick it. And then what you want to do is fold and burnish these. Just to form our handle. So it's going to go like that. We're going to fold this one down this way. And this one this way. And there we've got that kind of shape for our handle. And I'm going to apply a bit of collal actually. I want a bit of strength to this. It isn't really a weight bearing handle, but on the prototype that I've done, the handle does actually bear the weight quite nicely. So I'm just going to glue that in place like so. In fact, actually, I'm not. I'm going to take it off and just put that to one side. Don't worry about our glue snot. We can rub that off. What we need to do is the bits for the little tabby bits. So you need to cut yourself 4 circles out of the colour of cardstock that you've used for the base. So I've used black, so I've found some scraps of black card and I've cut 4 circles that are 1.5 inches. I happen to have this circle punch, so that's what I've used. And what you want to do is score at 3/4. So pop your circle in your scoreboard. Oh, try not to move it. Score at 3/4. Rotate it so that that line is horizontal now. And score at 3/4 again. So you're getting a little cross in your circle like so. And what you're going to do is you're going to take your scissors and you're going to cut up one of the score lines, it doesn't matter which, and you're simply going to fold that in half to make the little edge pieces for the corner of your little luggage case. So I'm going to repeat that. So I'm just going to snip up one of my score lines like that, and then on the other score line just fold and get your little bone folder in and burnish. And as I say, you should end up with 8 pieces like this, she says. This is where I find out I've got 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and the last one, 8. This is such a cute project, and you could do it for all kinds of occasions and put all kinds of little goodies inside. It'd be cute for children with little gifts inside. So what you want to do now is make sure you do it on the paper, not on the card. You're going to apply glue and sit this on each corner, front and back, like so. So straight edge against straight edge, like so, and you get that little finish. Isn't that cute? Just do another one to show you, and then I'll do the rest off camera because this is already a really long video. I am sorry. You'll be sick to death of me. I've got a couple of videos I need to do next week, a couple of VRs. I've got a Crossfire project share I need to do. It's Secret Diary of a Serial Dieter tomorrow, Monday. But then I'm going to be having a good little rest. I think you guys need a rest from me, don't you? Yeah, and I've got all these magazine commissions to work on. It's worrying actually, our post. We've had hardly any post again this week, and I'm expecting a couple of things to arrive and they haven't. I'm getting a bit worried because every day that they're not with me, these things, it's a day that I can't work on the projects. And here I am, I said I'd be doing this off camera, and here I am whittering on to you. Just make sure you stick your corners on, but I just think it finishes it off really nicely and makes it look like a little suitcase. You could, for a child, you could decorate this with, you know, really nice children paper, childish paper. I don't mean childish paper, I mean, you know, paper with images that a child would like, and put a little small soft toy inside. That would be really cute. So it's like their little house. All kinds of things you could do with this. So we've just got a couple more to stick on. Like so. And you can see at the bottom, well, this is the top actually, this is where our handle needs to go. You can see that our handle will sit over these little bits. And the last one going on right now. Oh, my little Fitbit's just gone off to tell me I've done 10,000 steps, but I don't believe it. And there is the last little one there. Oh no, there's one more. Tell a lie. One more. I should have done this off camera and speeded it up, but it wouldn't be an Ashley video without a bit of waffle, would it? There we go, just lining that last one up like so. It's not exactly neat on the bottom, but it looks lovely from the front. And now we can come back in with our collal and stick our handle down. And oh, I've put a bit too much glue on there. That is going to ooze. We shall have oozage. And just going to sit it like so, and just let that set. So to finish my little suitcase off, I have just rifled through my button jar, and I found a couple of buttons, green buttons. Look at all this glue mess. It will dry clear and you won't see it so much when it's dry. I've just glued a couple of buttons on top of the handle there to finish it off. Hopefully you can see that. If you wanted to add a sentiment on the front, you could, and I might do that at a later date. You could add a little luggage label onto the handle. As I say, when the handle is dry, it will bear a little bit of weight, but you know, I would hand it to the recipient like that rather than give it by the handle, just to be on the safe side. And in good old Blue Peter fashion, here is one that I made earlier. with a couple of little modifications. So on this one I have put a luggage label using a scrap of Stamp Area Imagination paper or Imagine paper, and for the sleeve here I've used the Imagine paper, and I just think this looks really vintage. And you can see I've put buttons on the top there, and then I've used some flat back pearls on just the front here to make it look a little bit like this, rivets. And I've put a bottle of Chambord liqueur inside this, so I've made a couple of modifications. So instead of my insert going this way, I've put it this way. And for your insert, if you're interested, you will need a piece of card that is 9 3/4 by 3 1/4, and you will need to score that at 1 3/8, 2 5/8, 4, 6, 7 3/8, and 8 1/2. Now I followed the same dimensions for the box, but this is much deeper, and I should have made my box deeper, but I didn't. So hence this sticks out a lot further than the original one. If I bring them in, you can see there's, you know, probably 1/4 of an inch difference there. So for the wrap, again, you will need a piece that is 4 1/2, but this time I cut it to 11 1/2, and that is my second make. Can't get this back on now, it is fiddly, but yeah, slides on just really nicely, and I am particularly proud of this one. So here is my other one, and they would make a really cute gift. So thank you so much. That is 31 days of Christmas crafting done and dusted. I will be back tomorrow with Secret Diary of a Serial Dieter. Take care, everybody, and thank you so much for supporting this. I really do appreciate it. Take care. Bye now.